In order to become a successful trader, we need to work on our mental side. One of the ways to do it is just taking breaks. Taking regular breaks from our trading routine will help us to avoid burnouts and reduce the stress levels. Hey there, Tom here from Fibonacci-Traders.com here with the daily market recap. Please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends. Let's see the charts. How time flies. Tomorrow, Friday. End of the week, end of the month, end of 2023, Q1. Unbelievable. SPY, Doji off the 401. As we can see, all the way to the upside, we have a very strong battle between bulls and bears. For now, bulls are winning, but bears are still in the game. We have this downtrend from February 2023. Now let's see if bulls can take us all the way to 407 before this gap will get filled. More than 80% chance it will. QQQ. Once again, another doji of the 313 breaking up and above this area of consolidation between the 308 and the 313. Closing up and above. Now let's see if bulls have enough power in their hands to go all the way to 320 before bears will take control and try to close this gap. IWM still basically doing nothing in the past month or so. 176 to the upside, 170 to the downside. So we are waiting to see where IWM is going. Dow Jones, while it looks like bulls managed to break up and above this downtrend blue line, but with a doji, and if we look, we see several consecutive dojis, but so it means the battle between bulls and bears are in full power. Bears are still here. 330, very important level of resistance, because it was resistance here, support, resistance, now resistance. Let's see where price will end up tomorrow, Friday, end of the week, end of the month, end of Q4. Bitcoin basically doing nothing, moving sideways in the past 2 weeks or so, grinding below the trend line. Trend lines are the true support resistance for price action. Look left and down. You can see it was support, broke to the downside, then this one came as resistance until it broke to the upside back to this trend line. Ethereum, not surprising, same thing, trend line holding as a very strong resistance. Now we have a small broadening formation inside a massive broadening formation. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Where Bitcoin and Ethereum are heading? Above the broadening formation or back to the downside? Anyway, we need to follow price, listen to the price, and all we have to do is manage our risk according to the trend lines and the Fibonacci levels. That's it. This is the only thing we have full control of. Risk management. All the rest is out of our hands. XLE, since we identify this potential double bottom, we have validation. Now 83 will become a very tough resistance because it was a very important resistance. Support, broke to the downside all the way to the trend line. This trend line goes all the way to July 2022, September 22. Here, the higher lows. Now, double bottom all the way back to the 83 area. I expect it to be a very tough resistance. If not, we have this red trend line. If this area of the 83 and this red trend line will break up and above, we have all the levels to the upside for future potential resistance. Natural gas still in a downtrend, but if you follow me on Twitter and you saw previous videos, we said 210 needs to hold, and for now 3 days it's holding. Let's see if bulls of natural gas can break up and above this downtrend channel, and then we can expect maybe a double bottom. We have this bottom here, double bottom over here, then bounce towards the 242 and maybe all the way back to 264. Oil 74 from support to resistance. Now it's in the hands of bulls. Do they have enough power in their hands to go all the way to this yellow trend line? Look left and up. This yellow trend line, resistance since July 2022. Each and every time price reached it, it got rejected back to the blue trend line, which holds the lower lows since February of 2022. Trend lines, Fibonacci levels, price action, aka candlestick analysis, that's it. No other indicators are truly needed. And another great example is the gold. Red trend line, resistance, resistance, resistance for the higher highs, and we have this trend line over here. Let's connect them both. Now let's see which one will hold. For now, this trend line is holding, breaking down and under. We can go short using these levels to the downside for support, or are we going back to this red trend line? AAPL bulls are here, are not giving up, and as we can see, trend lines are the true support resistance, and this crossroads between this trend line over here, the red trend line, and this blue trend line. We have this blue trend line that signals the lower highs of past week. We have this red trend line that helps us to identify resistance since it was support September and October, September 2022, then became resistance, 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 resistance all the way March. Now breaking up and above. Bulls of AAPL are still strong. They are still here. Amazon, we had a downtrend, bounce all the way to the 103. The 103 is the 618 Fibonacci retracement level, and it was, as we can see, resistance. We have an open gap over here, which got closed here. And there is nothing random in price action. We had a gap over here, and we had a gap over here. Same area, 106 to the 109, 105 to the 110. Same areas of gaps, both got filled over here. So this area is a very important area of resistance. If bulls will manage to break up and above it together with this trend line, then this 103 area will become a very important support. Google, uptrend, retracement. Now 100 is holding for now. It was a very important level of support and resistance, as we can see only by looking left. Now it's holding as support. Tesla, look how many dojis since last week. Doji after doji between the 188 and the 195. Bulls team, Bears team, both don't give up. It's a very long game. It's an endless game, Trading is an endless game. It's an endless marathon. And now we have 195 to the upside, 188 to the downside, closing above this one, a weekly close above the 195. We can assume that the next major resistance will be the 203 together with this red trend line. Breaking below the 188, 182 needs to hold. Otherwise, you guessed it, this gap over here is the exact reason why we have so many dojis, so many indecision candles in the market in the past few days. On Tesla, we do have lower highs. Now, this gap is like a magnet to price. Bulls are trying, and the magnet, the gap, is pulling price towards it. AMD struggling with this trend line. This trend line goes all the way back to October 2022. As you can see, each and every time price reached it, got rejected, tried over here, doji, back below. Now 98 is holding as a very tough resistance, as you can see, since Friday 17th, 2 weeks already. Now where price is heading. If it's hard on the eyes to watch candlesticks and it's too much noise, which is too much noise, go to line chart. Easy on the eyes. All this area basically moving sideways between the 93 and the 98. Wait for market to decide where it's going. If you're not long yet, wait for a break up and above this trend line, or wait for some pullback towards maybe the 89, 84, and maybe all the way back to this lower trend line. If you are in a position already, long position on AMD, this is the time to watch price and realize that the battle between bulls and bears are in full power. Indecision on AMD for the past 2 weeks. Manage your risk, raise your stop loss, because this is the only thing you have full control of. No one knows where price will head next. It can continue to the upside, but it also can start melting to the downside. And of course, this is for educational purposes only. Everything I say is for educational purposes only. Do your own due diligence. If you want to take your trading journey to the next level, check the links in the description below. One-on-one live mentorship program or the pre-recorded 6 hours 49 lessons. Both programs, lifetime access, support, guidance, all Discord channels, until you will say to yourself, I don't need anyone else. I am my own indicator. Check it out. NVDA, another great example of why trend lines are the true support resistance for price action. Same as AMD, since 2 weeks or so, we are grinding up, but dojis all the way, which means bulls are here, bears are here. Indecision on NVIDIA. It might seem like it's going to the upside, but at any point, let's take a look on the weekly. We can clearly see 2 consecutive weeks for now, 276 to the upside. It was support, resistance. Now, once again, second week in a row, it's resistance. Doji, inside candle, indecision on NVIDIA, which means if the market cannot decide, we surely cannot decide. If we are not long or short on NVIDIA yet, if we don't have any position on NVIDIA, we need to sit and wait until we have decision from the market. Microsoft closing above the 283, 284 area, but with a doji, not surprising. All across the board, we have dojis in the past week or so. And as we can see on the weekly, 2 weeks ago we had a very nice bull run. Previous week, inside candle, and this week, for now, it's a doji. And if we look left, we can see some kind of a mirror price action. We have this one over here, which we might get over here, the same price action. Why? Because if you look at this downtrend, we had a mirror price action to the upside. Now we might get this price action, same we got here. Maybe we will get this one here, but we might close a gap over here. We have the 285 area gap, 286. Maybe we'll close it tomorrow, and next week, Monday, new week, new month, Q2 of 2023 starting, and then we might get some kind of a pullback. If you're not long yet on Microsoft, I would wait for a week or two closing above the 290 or a pullback and look for a bounce from the 260 back to the upside. Netflix. We'll go Netflix on the weekly video. During weekends, I post at least 2 videos. The weekly market recap and my top stocks to watch for the next week. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel, hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of my videos. Netflix, not surprising, a doji. We had downtrend, bounce, 618, doji. Let's see where price will head tomorrow. Meta, 210, 208, very strong resistance, as we can see in the past 10 days or so. Very tough resistance, the 208. Let's see where price will take us. 200 to the downside, needs to hold, otherwise we have this gap over here. It will get closed, 80% chance. Then we have this gap over here. So if you are bullish on Meta, it's time to tighten up the stop loss. Shopify. If yesterday we had a very nice candle breaking up and above this resistance, going inside the void, today we got retesting the 46 as support. This 46 needs to hold, otherwise we are going back down towards this blue trend line. Price action, trend lines, Fibonacci. That's it. This is all we have full control of. And one more thing we can control is pressing the like, subscribe, and the notification bell. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends. Don't forget, check links in the description below for more educational resources. Until the next video, stay safe.